That is what will get those steel mills cranked up and operating again. Because let me ask you this. What is the biggest cost factor in operating a manufacturing facility? John, is energy. The energy to power the machinery, to heat the building, to cool the building, and to do all of the things that are necessary to manufacture. Think about what's going to happen when manufacturing companies realize that they can park their manufacturing facility on top of a nearly limitless supply of energy in the oil and gas that reside in the Marcellus and the Utica Shale. And when that happens, those facilities are going to need steel as a raw material, not only to build their facilities, but also to build the components that they manufacture. So I'm telling you, I believe we're going to see it come back. I can't give you a date of when it's going to come back. It all depends on the policies that come out of Washington in regards to regulations and taxes. And I'm fighting every day on behalf of small businesses and hardworking Americans up and down the Ohio River to make sure that the federal government does not intrude any further into our private sector economy. So that's the answer. Private sector economic growth will get those steel mills cranked back up again. Hey, let me give you the results of the question that I asked a few minutes ago. I asked you if you support extending the 2001 and 2003 era tax cuts that cut tax rates for all Americans. Over 83% of you, almost 84% of you said, yes, you do. I appreciate that feedback. That gives me a good bellwether when I go down to vote to know how my constituents feel, and I appreciate that. I'm going to ask you one more question, and I'll ask it several times, but I want to get some feedback from you. Businesses up and down the Ohio River tell me that excessive government regulation is keeping them from hiring and expanding. Do you support cutting government red tape so that businesses can have an easier time of starting up, hiring, and expanding? Press 1 on your keypad for yes, press 2 for no. Let me ask you again. Businesses up and down the Ohio River tell me that excessive government regulations are keeping them from hiring and expanding. Do you support cutting government red tape so that businesses can more easily start up and can more easily hire and expand their companies? Press 1 for yes, press 2 for no. I really appreciate your feedback on that question. And I'll ask it again here in a minute or two for those of you that missed it. Again, press 0 if you would like to get in the question queue. This is Congressman Bill Johnson, and I appreciate you being on the call. Let's go to Athens. John, how you doing, buddy? All right, buddy, how you doing? I'm doing very well, thanks. Can you hear me? I can. Go ahead. Go ahead. Ask your question. Go ahead. My question is, I feel I've got 17 years in coal mining experience, and there's no more coal mines in southeastern part of Ohio. And I feel like I'm being discriminated because I cannot get no jobs anyplace else, not even out of state in coal mine. I'd like to know why they can't put some new mines down around Athens, Meigs, down in this neck of the woods, Morgan. Wonder why, besides the Yeah, good question, John. And the reason that coal operators are not going to start a new coal mine, it's not because they don't want to. It's because they're being prohibited to by the administration, by the EPA, by the Department of the Interior, the Office of Surface Mining and Reclamation. Many coal mining companies simply give up when they try to get a permit to start up and conduct a coal mining operation. They give up after waiting so long to get a permit, and unsuccessfully they move on to the investors move on to other projects. It's a sad state of affairs, but the administration has got a hold on the coal industry. threatens to cut coal production across America by about 50%. And we're already seeing Americans pay about $300 more on the average for powering their homes since the president came into office. So between the stream buffer zone rule rewrite that I'm fighting hard against, I've got a piece of legislation that I introduced called HR 3409. For those of you on that have access to the internet, you can look that up and find out some information about it. That will stop the administration from being able to administer that rule. When you combine that with the fact that the EPA has an attack on the market for coal, they are going after the coal-fired power plants. In fact, President Obama said before he was ever elected that he would make it economically infeasible for new coal-fired power plants to start up, and it would essentially bankrupt them. And that's exactly what has happened, as we have seen numerous coal-fired power plants have to shut down because of the owners, the EPA clean air regulations that's making it economically infeasible for them to operate. So it is a day in and day out grinding job to fight off the administration's war on the coal industry. John, I wish I had a better answer for you than that. But until we can stop this administration and force the administration to develop a true all-of-the-above energy program that relies in part on coal. You know, we got enough coal in this country to fuel America's energy needs for generations to come, and it's the most cost-effective, reliable form of energy on the planet. So it's a day-in and day-out job to fight it off, John, and that's what I'm going to continue doing. I appreciate that question. Let's go to our next caller, and while we're getting that one up, if you would like to ask a question, press 0 on your keypad. You'll get into the question queue. Let's go down to Steubenville and talk to Leroy. Hi, Leroy.
Hello.
Go ahead, Leroy. We're listening.
Yeah, my question is, we got these companies coming in, drilling for natural gas. They said they're going to hire local people, but they have yet not to do it. They have hired a lot of people from out of state. I want to know when they're going to start hiring locally, because our crime rate has gone way up. There's been a lot of robberies, shootings, burglaries, and, I'm getting fed up with it.
Yeah, Leroy, I hear what you're saying. Let me deal with the second part of what you said. You talk about robberies and shootings. You live in Steubenville. I don't know whether you're aware of it or not, but there's a big problem in the Section 8 housing. The federal housing authority there, in terms of managing and monitoring the criminal activity that's going on in that federally provided housing. I have gotten involved in that. I have written and demanding answers from the Department of Housing and Urban Development because we've gotten reports from the local authorities there in Steubenville that they're actually being defeated by their attempts to make sure that the crimes are stopped. So I've met with the local authorities there. I've gotten engaged, and that's a process that's still underway. So watch your newspapers. Maybe if you get a chance, go talk to your city council and to the mayor, because they're well aware of what we're doing to try and help resolve that situation. Back to your issue, though, about hiring local people.